The Owl House episode 2. I talked about episode 1 last week. I really didn't like that episode. Was this episode any better? Now, message wise, yes. This episode, the idea of this episode is that we should find our own destinies. So, Luce, who's getting used to this world, goes on a little delivery mission for Ida, and she goes, and she's not liking it. She thinks Ida's not taking her goal seriously of becoming a witch, and so she comes across one of Ida's clients who is a wizard and says, "Hey, I got a quest for you." Turns out he's lying and bullcrap, and yeah, it's a pretty straightforward plot. You know everywhere. It's very predictable. You know where it's gonna go, and that's what I really don't like about this episode. I also just don't like this type of episode, the filler episode. It's a filler episode that does not need to be there and exist. And the only reason I could see for this episode existing is they're trying to say, hey, we're not going to do the normal, like, fantasy type stories. Well, guess what? The show features witches in a school. You don't get... Now, that's pretty Harry Potter, if you ask me. So you're still kind of doing typical fantasy type stuff. So that doesn't even make sense. And the episode here is very... not... And again, it's a boring episode because you know where it's going to go. And it's just, like, when you watch... These episodes rely on their twist, which is that the guy's full of crap. But... When you've learned that twist, the episode becomes boring because there's no longer that intrigue of, is this guy lying? Is she actually got a destiny? What's the hint here? Once you watch it, the episode becomes worthless because now you know, oh, he was lying. So now you never have a reason to watch this because there's no longer any intrigue. It's just a boring, predictable episode with no substance or value. And I hate this episode for that. It is a meh episode at best. But again, a meh episode sucks because you watch a good episode, you remember it. You watch a really bad episode, you remember it. A meh episode, I'm not going to remember. And I hated this episode and I never want to watch it again.